Before this ends, you might hate me, or you might finally recognize the woman inside yourself. Because what I'm about to say was never meant to comfort you. It was meant to wake you up. You are not a good girl. Let it land. If your chest tightens, if your breathing changes, if your heartbeat suddenly feels louder, that's not anger. That's truth knocking. They told you being a good girl was success. A soft voice, lowered eyes, an adjusting smile. A girl who doesn't argue, doesn't demand, doesn't choose herself. And when you become that girl, everyone applauds. But listen carefully. That applause is not love. It is approval. And approval is given only when you disappear. The silence you learned, the obedience you mastered, that was not culture. That was conditioning. From childhood, they didn't ask you what you wanted. They told you what was allowed. Don't shout. Don't laugh too loud. Don't cry where people can see. Don't say no. Slowly, they didn't raise a girl. They raised permission. And you became so good at it that one day you forgot your own voice. You learned to read rooms before reading books. You learned to sense moods before expressing feelings. You learned to adjust before you ever learned to dream. And you called that maturity. But history was never changed by good girls. History was changed by women who were first called difficult. Let me take you there. Oprah Winfrey was abused, silenced, dismissed. They told her she was too emotional, too loud, too much. She turned pain into power and became a voice for millions. Kalpana Chawla was once just a girl looking up at the sky from a small town. They told her space was not for girls, that science was not for her, that dreaming that big was unrealistic. So she studied while the world slept. She crossed borders. She crossed loneliness. She crossed doubt. She became the only woman in the room more times than she could count. And when she left Earth, she didn't ask permission. She proved one thing forever. Dreams do not need approval. Mary Kom was told her body was wrong. Too weak, too small, too female. After marriage, after motherhood, they said, now stop. But when she entered the boxing ring, she wasn't fighting opponents. She was fighting every voice that told her to shrink. Every punch she threw was a reply to society. She wasn't being aggressive. She was reclaiming herself. And this story doesn't belong to one country, one culture, or one kind of woman. Malala was told education was not for girls. That curiosity was dangerous. They tried to silence her with bullets. She became louder than the world. J.K. Rowling was broke, a single mother, rejected again and again. They told her story would never matter. She wrote anyway, and built an empire from rejection. Every one of these women was called bad before they were called brave, too loud, too stubborn, too ambitious, too much, just like they call you the moment you stop adjusting. The day you say no, they say you've changed. The day you choose yourself, they say you've become selfish. Let them. You didn't change. You woke up. You are not loud. You were silent for too long. You are not difficult. You were tolerating disrespect. You are not emotional. You are human in a world that benefits from quiet women. A woman who sacrifices herself is called good. A woman who protects herself is called dangerous. And dangerous women change the world. But here's the truth no one warns you about. When you stop pleasing, you will disappoint people. When you set boundaries, you will be misunderstood. When you grow, you will outgrow rooms that once felt like home. And yes, it will hurt, because guilt feels like fear when you've been trained to obey. But listen closely. Guilt is not proof you're wrong. It's proof you're evolving. So pause before you say yes. Give yourself 5 seconds of respect. Say no without guilt. No without explanation. No without apology. You don't owe access to people who drain you. You don't owe softness to those who cross your boundaries. You don't owe silence to anyone who benefits from it. And if standing up for yourself makes you the villain in their story, wear it proudly. Villains are remembered. You were not born to be convenient. You were not born to be obedient. You were not born to disappear. You were born to take space, to speak, to choose, to become. So when someone says, you are not a good girl, smile. Because good girls follow rules. Bad girls break cages, and great women rewrite destiny.